The latest in my updates on the road to UTMB 2021. Just as a reminder, I'm a 54-year-old kind of middle-aged dad with a couple of kids and a job to deal with, trying to train and finish the UTMB Ultra Trail de Mont Blanc, probably the toughest trail running race in the world. I've just been documenting my training, and we're at the end of June now. So the current situation is that there's about 2 months to go, and the travel situation is still uncertain. I've had 2 vaccinations, which gets me into France and Switzerland, not Italy at the moment. Angela Merkel's trying to get all Brits banned from Europe. God knows whether or not I'll be able to even do the race, but it's 2 months away, and you know, the training up until now has gone very well. You look at my other videos, I guess I'll stick a link in, but the coastal walk I did was excellent for just building up endurance, you know, allied to running roughly 100 miles a week, 100 kilometers a week, 60-65 miles a week. A couple of bigger weeks there, and I finished fairly recently a run of 3 races in 3 weeks, which went really well. The first one of those was a race called the Devils Lite, which is a 50-kilometer race along the South Downs from Stenning, and yeah, it went really well. I just kind of treated it as a long training run. There were about 200 people taking part. It was a warmish day without being hot. It's a good chance to test the backpack. I've got a new Innovate backpack which I've bought for the UTMB, and some of the kit. I use the on-running Cloud Venture shoes for that one, which are really good. And you know, it did pretty well. I think I was 13th or something in the field. And then kind of went straight into recovery mode. The following weekend did a triathlon in Eastbourne, a standard distance triathlon, and I wasn't really expecting too much because I've kind of done the minimum of cycling and swimming you can get away with, but it kind of went how I expected. It was well behind the field in the swim, did all right in the bike, and just did really well in the run. I guess, you know, doing lots of running means you're good at running. And I did like a 42 minute 10k split, which is also good just to get a bit of higher intensity running in as well. And then after that, the weekend after that, Saturday and Sunday, I did a 2-day race called the Pilgrim Challenge, which is 50k each day, 53 I think it was, along the North Downs way. So that is a different kind of test, more volume, turned it into a big volume week. And you know, it was very hot that weekend. It was like 26, 27. So it was really good for kind of practicing hydration as well. I carried more kit with me, dealing with recovery. But you put all of that into context. You know, I did 106 kilometers over 2 days, you know, with I think something like a 16-hour gap in between. And if you add all of that up, the 6 hours, 12 hours of running and 18 hours rest in between, it doesn't add up to the length of time it will take me, I expect, to do the whole of the UTMB. So yeah, it's really good training, and the racing's really good, and in fact I won my age group in that one, which is great. But I've kind of trying to move away now from the sort of ego thing of getting lots and lots of miles in, because I think essentially the way I'm going to be able to finish the UTMB is not to do with that kind of endurance fitness, which I've got enough of it. You know, there's a limit to how much you can add on, but it's much more to do with dealing with being able to go up, and also really importantly being able to go down, as another ProFeet ambassador mentioned to me, Pierre, that you know, we're going to be walking like I am now up most of the uphills. It's the downhills and the punishment on the quads that's going to be hard. You know, there's 9,500 meters of up and down, in the UTMB. You know, it's the definition of a hilly race. So really I'm focusing, just changing the balance of my training now for these remaining 2 months, which realistically, you know, comes down to probably, you know, if there's 8, maybe 9 weeks, take off 3 for a bit of a taper, that gives me 6 more weeks of training, probably, you know, with a couple of recovery weeks or something, that's like maybe 5 actual weeks of training, proper training. So I'm really focusing on the specific, which is going up and going down a lot, which is why I'm going up this hill now, which is actually up towards the Jack and Jill windmills, which I kind of identified on that Devils Lite 50k. I'm on the South Downs, and I've been running up Devils Lite, which is over there before, and running up a Ditchling Beacon, which is just over there. But this one here, up to these Jack and Jill windmills, and then actually all the way past up onto the South Downs Way, is steeper and longer. So that's part of what I'm focusing on. And then the other thing I'm really thinking about now is about kit and making sure the kit is all correct. You know, so I've got the backpack, working out where everything's going, what balance of hydration. And I'll probably do a different video on this, but I've kind of settled on a bladder and a soft flask, which I'm having electrolytes in the soft flask and water in the bladder. I'm just trying to record how much I'm drinking. And then I've actually bought a new jacket and some new waterproof trousers, which are a bit smaller, a bit lighter than the ones I've got at the moment. And I've been running with poles. These are really good Black Diamond poles that fold down. They fit onto the backpack. I've worked out where they go on there, and I've just been practicing using them a little bit more, because I'll certainly be using them in the UTMB. So it's really all about just getting specific for the race now. Exact kit practice, hills practice. With that in mind, if all goes well, in a couple of weeks' time I'm going to go out to Switzerland. I need a number of things to work for that to happen, but currently double vaccinated people can go in there without quarantining and do 4 or 5 days of running in the Alps, which will allow me to get the proper kind of vertical. I reckon I could probably do, you know, 7,000 meters there over 5 days, and realistically it's just not possible to do you know, anything like that here. Even if you spend your whole time just going up and down 3,000, 3.5, maybe 4 in smaller ascents, whereas over there I can be doing 1,000 meter ascents and descents, and I can be doing it at altitude as well, which is, you know, that other